Hello there, traveler. If you're seeing this video, it means you need to relax and make something delicious. Why not join me in the kitchen? Today, we're going to be taking a classic dessert and giving it a hazelnut twist. If you love flan, you'll absolutely adore this dessert. This recipe is a bit tricky because we're working both with caramel and custard, but if you carefully follow the instructions and heed my warnings, I know you'll be able to recreate this at home. To begin, we're going to set aside some time, about 2 days before you'd like to enjoy this dessert, and make some hazelnut milk. We're going to take 200 grams of hazelnuts, pop them on a tray with a parchment lining, and toast them in a 350-degree oven for about 15 minutes. They should become a lovely color, and you'll recognize how wonderful the smell is. We'll then grind them up in a blender or food processor, trying not to go as far as to turn them into powder, then take that over to our workstation. We're going to take 480 milliliters of whole milk and mix the hazelnuts in with the milk, then we'll let that mixture sit in the fridge for about 24 hours before straining. The next day, we'll begin on the caramel. We're going to combine 1/8 of a teaspoon of cream of tartar to 60 milliliters of water in a pan, swirling or stirring that until dissolved. Then, without stirring whatsoever, we'll add in 150 grams of sugar to the center. If you need to, you can take a pastry brush and lightly brush the sides with water if some sugar is stuck to the sides. The cream of tartar is an acid, which should help you avoid any crystallization of the sugars in the caramel, but stirring reintroduces that crystal structure, so that's why you can swirl but not stir. We're going to cook that until it reaches the desired color, and you'll have to watch it carefully because this will change colors rather quickly. Then pour that into your cake pan for the flan. I'm using this one, which is about 8 inches. We can then set that aside while we work on the custard. Coming over to the stove, we're then going to combine the hazelnut milk, 400 grams of sweetened condensed milk, 2 tablespoons of hazelnut creamer, and 1/4 teaspoon of salt in a pan, and heat that just before it gets to a simmer. Taking that back over to our workstation, we'll carefully temper that mixture with 4 eggs, just taking a small ladleful at a time and pouring it into the eggs, and just barely stirring so we don't introduce air bubbles and so we don't make sweet scrambled eggs. You can choose to whisk this instead, but it will likely introduce air bubbles into the final product. For a final layer of protection, we can then strain this into our cake pan. We can then pour the custard base into the cake pan over a spoon so that it doesn't disturb the caramel layer on the bottom. Now let's get our water bath set up. We're going to take a large, deep pan, put a small wire rack on the bottom, then cover our cake pan tightly with aluminum foil. We'll then put our kettle on the stove, and when it's boiling, pop the cake pan into the large pan and pour the boiling water around it. We'll then cook this at 325 degrees Fahrenheit for about 50 minutes. You'll know it's ready when it jiggles, but there aren't huge waves in the custard. Then we'll let it rest in the fridge overnight. The day you're ready to enjoy your flan, you can run a knife around the outside of it, then place your desired serving plate over top, and then give it a decisive flip, gently tapping the bottom until you can feel it's come loose. Then gently lift up your tin and voila. I'm going to try and get a decent slice out of this, but feel free to cut into it however you'd like. Now, I already love flan, so this was an easy win for me, but I do really enjoy the hazelnut flavoring. I think the bittersweetness of the caramel pairs really well with the nuttiness of the hazelnut milk, and I do recommend giving this recipe a try if you think you're up for it. Thank you so much for watching, and if you enjoyed this video, be sure to leave a like and subscribe so you don't miss any new videos. Special thank you to Patreon, and be safe out there, traveler.